The vision was about people. It was about making it a place where people want to be.
And only part-way through construction, King's Cross has done exactly that. Spanning 67 acres on old railway land in central London, King's Cross is a large-scale mixed-use urban redevelopment project, the largest of its kind in Europe. Bordering St. Pancras International and King's Cross rail stations, one of the busiest transportation hubs in the city, King's Cross used to be a thriving hub of commerce and industry in the Victorian era, but by the 1970s, tension in the city mounted over what to do with the site as it deteriorated into dilapidated warehouses and contaminated land where crime was a concern.
This is where a debate's been played out for perhaps 40 years, 50 years about how London grows. Are we going to expand the central business district, the world city functions, the offices and so forth, or is this about meeting the needs around here, the many pressing and urgent needs of local communities for extra housing and open space and facilities of health and education and so forth?
The answer would be a balance between the two. The two landowners, London and Continental Railways, LCR, and DHL, formerly Excel, got serious about developing the land in 1996 when Britain's first high-speed rail connecting passengers to Paris moved to St. Pancras. Through a competition, LCR and DHL chose Argent as a development partner. The three served as one development entity and were the main stakeholders.
The vision for the project was a high-density, mixed-use, successful part of town where people would want to live and work, put their businesses, put down roots, come and visit, spend their leisure time.
Bisected by a canal in the middle, the master plan situates a mix of office, retail, residential, education, and healthcare facilities on either side in 50 new buildings and structures, including 20 historic buildings with 20 new public streets assembled around 26 acres of public space, all with a strong focus on arts, culture, and heritage.
We spent a lot of time thinking very hard about the spaces between the buildings. And that was the master plan. The master plan was the routes and spaces.
One of the developer's biggest challenges was leaving the design open, allowing specific details of the new district to emerge over the life of the 15-year phase development.
When we're looking at implementing each new space within the overall consent is to see how we can improve it and respond to how people are using the rest of the site. So some of the things were in the planning consent and some of them we've kind of made up as we've gone along.
It was simply pointless putting forward designs that, because of the time, would never happen. Far better to build in some flexibility to do the right thing at the time, whilst having certainty over key moves around the public realm.
Granary Complex on the north side of the project was one of the first areas developed, with renovated historic buildings where the University of the Arts is located. Granary Square, that's in the middle, with beautiful waterfalls and landscapes where people now gather throughout the day.
And I think at that stage people really understood what the area south of the canal looked like, was going to look like, and what it might be like if they had an office there, for example.
In 2013, Google signed on to put its 1 million square foot British headquarters there.
And I think they really liked the tone of the place and what was happening here and the mix of people and the art students and the public realm and the whole King's Cross-ness of it.
Retail at King's Cross is based in a dense urban quarter, broken into clusters with distinct character.
We've never sought to target a specific sector or a specific grouping. What we have tried to do is create a tone for King's Cross, which is professional but isn't particularly corporate.
Faith and patience on behalf of the stakeholders and all involved was crucial for a project of such breadth and impact on the city as a whole.
It has been and continues to be a heavy investment. The working capital requirements have been extraordinary. I think the main lesson on King for us is that we have ultimately, I think, been rewarded, hopefully, and will be rewarded for taking the long-term view. I think the industry needs good examples of where patient capital earns its fair reward. There has been no quick fix, there's been no attention on trading out early, but a relentless focus on making the right choices at the right time. We've had to be flexible. I mean, the big lesson is flexibility within master plans, flexibility within business plans, and flexibility within financial strategy.
When King's Cross is complete, it will be a new piece of London with its own postcode, abundant with rich culture and character, modern and historic, enhancing the quality of life for all who visit and satisfying the pressing needs of the community with about half of the nearly 2,000 homes on the site being affordable. And providing most of the site's heat demand through an on-site energy center is one of a host of initiatives aimed at making King's Cross one of the most sustainable developments in the UK. The project is expected to be completed in 2020, and already more than half of it is leased.